What's up, guys?
How close do you feel
Good. How are y'all?
good?
Great, man.
How close do you feel to playing complementary football? How close are you to that aspect?
As far as offense and defense, it's so hard to tell right now because we're competing against those guys. You know, really, I think you can tell more so in the preseason games or in the games when, you're feeding off turnovers that the defense gets or, trying to flip a field and then allow them to get backed up. And, then they give us good field position. We go score points. So it's just really hard to tell right now just because we're competing against each other and we're trying to beat each other up right now.
Do you feel like you're making the right steps to getting there?
Yeah, and that's you're trying to get good at your stuff right now. And then, as Vance meets with us at nights and as we do situational stuff, you're trying to, know what the situation is and make the right decisions based on the situation. But a lot of that's it's still just practice and it's still set up situations. It's not, real life bullets flying. So I think we'll get into a lot more of that in the preseason games.
Your takeaway from that drive, your guys' series of the ones versus ones, you moved the chains. What did you take away from that?
I'll have to watch the film. But obviously moving the chains, converting on a few third downs. They did a good job pressuring us on a 3rd and long. So, got to 4th down. I think that may have been the 12th play that we had scripted, to be done at that time. But there's some good things that we did. Definitely a lot of good film to learn from too.
Case Vance was saying that he'd like you guys to score points, but not turning the ball over, getting those first downs can be just as important at times. Do you value that when you're out there?
Yeah, I'm trying to end every drive with a kick, whether it's field goal, extra point, or punt. I realize that sometimes the best play you can do is maybe throw it away. Sometimes at worst you want to just take a sack, just eat it, and punt the ball. Let our defense do what they do. We've got some great defensive players, great pass rushers that. You give them the full length of the field to defend, and it's, they do a great job. So I know the priority. Obviously we're trying to move the ball and score points, but, we got to protect the ball. And, having the ball in my hands every play, that's my number one job.
Is that difficult at times to throw it away or take the sack when you think there's a play there?
Yeah, it's just, it's what we learn. It's what I learn. It's what I practice. I practice throwing it away at times when it's not there and the rush is coming. I'm running out of the pocket and nobody's there. I practice throwing it away too. So, you're trying to treat every situation as if everything's on the line and it's a game.
Case Vance talked about the fact that running backs are doing a great job of picking up protection for young guys. That's got to be vital for your success, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I think that's one of the things about backs that this league really brings out. Because there's a lot of guys that can run, a lot of guys that can catch and do some special things with the ball in their hands, but it's knowing where to line up. It's knowing who you have in protection, and then being able to pick it up. And some of it's just playing football too. Just making sure that it may not be your job, but man, if somebody's running free at the quarterback, picking them up. So there's some really good things from those young backs that I'm seeing, and they're doing a great job.
You're less than a week away from the first preseason game. How do you feel that first team unit's coming together on offense?
I like where we're at. We're doing some good things. And every day we come on here, we learn something new about ourselves. So I really like that. I'm really having a great time this camp. I'm having a lot of fun playing ball and talking ball with those guys. I think everybody's hungry right now, and everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to be better. And I think everybody really, 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 really wants to be great. And, that's just not a sometimes things. That's not just a some days things. That's every day. That's when you don't feel like it. Maybe the ball's not bouncing your way, or things aren't growing the right way. That's coming out here and working your tail off, and those guys are doing it right now.
Where does that come from as a group? How does a group get that mentality?
It's just having a lot of really good guys. It's feeding off each other. It's competition. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that wide receiver room that can play, and they're competing against each other. They're competing against the defense. A lot of guys that can cover over there too. So, same thing in the tight end, the running back, the offensive line room, quarterback room. We're all competing and trying to make each other better.
You were in the meeting rooms, you're on the field with them. What have you seen from the younger guys behind you, Paxton and Shad? How have they progressed?
I think they're doing a great job. We got a great quarterback room. I've really enjoyed working with those guys, Sully, and then Clint. It's been a lot of fun, being in the meeting room and really, keeping it noisy, as we like to say. We all, have things and things that we see and things different ways of looking at things, and I think we're pushing each other. I think we're competing every day, with the nets, throws, with different drills that we do, and against the defense. So I think they're coming along really well.
Given what we've seen out of Sutton, build the lineup outside, does that give you options with Manuel inside? It looks like you have a little more versatility on that side.
Yeah, Billy's doing a great job right now mixing it up. We're throwing every formation that we possibly have in the playbook, every day. We have to come out here and be prepared. Those guys have to be in their books and know where to line up because, different personnels with different players. We've lined up just about everybody everywhere, and we're kind of seeing what we like to do, seeing what guys are good at, and it's one of those things. The more you can do, the more you're going to play. So I think the guys are trying to do as much as they can, to be featured in different routes and different locations.
Dan said it's been good for Paxton to be able to learn from you. What have you seen him pick up since you've gotten here?
I think that's probably a better question for him, but I've been around some great quarterbacks in my time, some older guys that have passed on a lot of knowledge to me, and I've tried to be a sponge as much as I can to those guys who have done it, and so I try to pass it on myself. A lot of it's just him just watching too. So that's how I learned, was just watching. But probably a better question for him. But man, I think he's doing a great job getting the ball out. Big tall guy's got a really strong arm, and he knows where to go with the football a lot of times, and he's learning from his mistakes just like we all are. I'm learning from mistakes every day, and we're continuing to get better. We're getting better individually and as a group.
Have you seen the NFL in your time even become a little more risk averse? This idea of take chances.
A little more what?
Risk averse. Like you don't see the risk like you used to see 10 years ago where guys were throwing 20, 25 picks. No one even throws 20 picks anymore in a season. Is that cognizant of how you take care of the ball and take chances? That balance you're kind of dealing with?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. There's so many different types of players. There's different types of philosophies, and I mean, going back from, like a Brett Favre type. I've taken things I've learned from different quarterbacks that I've loved to watch and studied, and but I'm not Drew Brees. I'm not Manning. I'm not a lot of people. I'm myself, and I try to draw things from them and learn from them, but I try to apply it to my craft and my game. For me, like I said, I try to protect the football and get it in the right guy's hands at the right time. So, I think that's what playing quarterback's about.
In case you looked up and down the roster before you signed here, and you signed, you had expectations from looking at that roster, knowing what the talent was here. Have your expectations changed since going through all the OTAs and minicamps and this?
I don't know if they're expectations anymore, but I would say my expectations or what I thought coming in have met everything or even exceeded from what I've seen from 10 and 88. From what I've seen out of the defense and Vaughn and Chris Harrison, those guys. And it's a special group of guys, and I think there's a lot of guys that can play, and there's a lot of guys that have played and know how to get where we all want to go. There's guys. I've been in rooms on teams before where like raise your hand if you played in the playoffs and nobody's raised their hand, and that's not the case around here. There's guys that know how to get it done, and I'm trying to learn from those guys because we all want to get back there.
What does it do to your mindset? What does it do to your mindset being the quarterback for this franchise? Because you talked about it when you signed here, what it meant to you. What does that do to you on a daily basis when you walk into this facility?
It's everything that I've said before. And it's just been a lot of fun living it out every day, coming in and being myself, growing relationships, growing the trust, growing the chemistry, not just with those guys, those 90 guys in the locker room, but with the coaches, with the training staff, with the equipment staff, with the cafeteria, which is awesome in here. with the whole building, and now training camp we're getting a chance to do that with the fans too. So, I mean, we broke records or something like that, Patrick, the other day, like
Top 5.
top 5. Okay, well,
Great attendance.
yeah, we had some great attendance. I'd like to say it's a record. It's a record for me, so it's record breaking. You can title it like that. Sorry about that. But man, they're awesome, man. They're showing up in the rain. I mean, it's incredible. So we sit there on film, and all those fans are in our film there, and we're like picking through, and like, look at this guy. I wonder what he's. But it's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to see those guys out there. The fans, are great, and I'm excited to go out there and play. At the stadium this Saturday. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Garrett says one of the things he really likes about playing with you is your positivity.
Who said this?
Garrett Bowles.
Oh, okay.
How do you feel like being a positive person and maybe helps an offense?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of negative stuff out there, and I always want to be positive, especially on the field, because there's a lot of different things that can happen, and to be positive, to be looking forward, to forget what's just happened. I think that's kind of my attitude, and something I try to instill in a lot of different guys is that it's I think it's better to be positive than it is to go around and yell at people. But there's a time for everything, and I'm excited that there's a lot of positive things going on the offensive side right now.
Thank you very much, Casey.
Appreciate you guys.